After hours of suspense, the Central Bureau of Investigation on Sunday accepted the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia's request to defer his questioning in a case linked to alleged corruption in the scrapped liquor sales policy. A fresh summons now is to be issued. Mr. Sisodia had requested the probe agency to give him till the end of February, as he says he was busy preparing Delhi's budget.
सीबीआई की ये सारी कार्रवाई बीजेपी के कहने पे होती है और बीजेपी के इशारे पे मुझे किसी न किसी तरीके से गिरफ्तार करने की ही सारी तैयारी, सारी साजिशें, सारे झूठ बीजेपी बोल रही है, इसीलिए बोल रही है। अब आप इनके देखिए कि फ्राइडे को सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर आता है कि एमसीडी में आम आदमी पार्टी का मेयर कैसे बनेगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी बुरी तरह से हारती है, अपनी सारी साजिशों में हारती है। शुक्रवार शाम को बीजेपी हारती है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, सैटरडे शाम को मेरे को नोटिस देती है कि संडे सुबह हाजिर हो जाओ। बीजेपी का ही नोटिस है ना ये। तो उसके बाद में मुझे पूरी तरह से ये था कि अब ये पूरे बदला लेने के लिए मुझे गिरफ्तार करेंगे ही करेंगे। अच्छा। अब अगर इनको मुझे गिरफ्तारी करना है, बीजेपी को अगर बदला लेने के लिए गिरफ्तार करना है तो कर ले मुझे, लेकिन दिल्ली के लोगों की कीमत पे नहीं, दिल्ली के लोगों का बजट रोक के नहीं, दिल्ली के लोगों के बजट की प्रोसेस रोक के नहीं। क्योंकि अगर दिल्ली के लोगों का बजट प्रोसेस डिरेल होता है तो अगले 1 साल का पूरा कार्यक्रम गड़बड़ा जाएगा। अब लास्ट मोमेंट है बजट तैयार करने का, सारी तैयारी हो चुकी है, फाइनल स्टेज पे है। ऐसे में अगर आप वित्त मंत्री को गिरफ्तार करके जेल में डालना चाहते हो क्योंकि आपको बदला लेना है बीजेपी को, तो फिर ये तो गलत है। बीजेपी के लोगों को बदला लेना है, उसकी कीमत पे दिल्ली के लोगों को सफर नहीं करने दूंगा मैं। इसीलिए मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया है सीबीआई से और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि सीबीआई के ऑफिसर सुनेंगे।
शराब घोटाले को छुपाना है, इसलिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन को इन्फ्लुएंस करवाना है और रोड़ा अटकाना है। और इसी के तहत आज मनीष सिसोदिया ने ये कहा है कि वो बजट में व्यस्त होने के कारण सीबीआई के पास जांच में शामिल होने के लिए नहीं जा पाएंगे। मैं तो उनसे पूछना चाहता हूं, यदि छुपाने वाली कोई बात नहीं है, यदि कोई घोटाला नहीं हुआ है, यदि आप मासूम हैं, तो जांच के साथ सहयोग क्यों नहीं करते? शुरुआती दौर से पहले विक्टिमहुड कार्ड खेलना, फिर मामले को डाइवर्ट करना, किसी भी सवाल का शराब घोटाले पर जवाब न देना, जांच को प्रभावित करने के लिए अलग अलग हथकंडे अपनाना, और अब बहानेबाजी पर उतर आई है आम आदमी पार्टी।
And the Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has filed a caveat in the Supreme Court, notifying them that Uddhav Thackeray may challenge the Election Commission's ruling on the Shiv Sena name and symbol, and urged the court to also hear from the Maharashtra government before passing any order. The poll body on Friday had allotted the party name Shiv Sena and the symbol bow and arrow to the faction led by Eknath Shinde, and the ruling was a huge blow to Mr. Thackeray and his camp, as the party had been founded by his father in 1966. The former chief minister said that he will move the top court against the EC order, which he termed a murder of democracy and theft. He's also called the Election Commission Prime Minister Modi's slave. And political parties have started campaigning on Erode East roads ahead of the February 27th by-election in the Assembly constituency, and it's turned into a prestige battle for both the ruling DMK and the opposition AIADMK. Sam Daniel has this report.
A majority of MK Stalin's ministers are campaigning in the high-stakes Erode East Assembly constituency by-poll, seeking votes for its ally, the Congress candidate, veteran leader EBK's Ilangovan, whose MLA son passed away. Erode East will vote on February 27th. The stakes are high in this by-poll as the ruling DMK sees this as a referendum on the 19-month-old Stalin government. For EPS, the AIADMK's new boss, this is his first election after becoming the AIADMK's interim general secretary. The ruling DMK banks on its performance.
The UPA, or the Secular Democratic Alliance on Tamil Nadu, still continues to enjoy the overwhelming support of the people of Tamil Nadu. Naturally, in a by-election, the government party will strain every effort.
Though 77 candidates are in the fray, the key contest is between the DMK and the AIADMK's two-time MLA Ten Arasu. The opposition is raking up what it calls the state government's failure, besides unfulfilled poll promises, including the 1,000 rupee monthly allowance for women.
Wherever you go, liquor only, every street and corner is selling. Therefore, people are not happy with that. Also, whatever the promises they said in the election manifesto, not unimplemented. 1,000 rupees they are going to every family, not implemented. Like that, so many issues.
Though the AIADMK is in alliance with the BJP, there's no joint campaign by the leadership. The Dravidian party had lost 2 elections in alliance with the BJP.
I don't think anybody sees BJP as a liability, and BJP brings some unique things to the table. Likewise, ADMK brings some unique things to the table. BJP brings a lot of freshness to the table. If you go and see the fresh voters now, 18 to 35, and that doesn't mean that ADMK has got a trust deficit BJP, or BJP has got a trust deficit with ADMK.
Strengthening ruling DMK's kitty is actor Kamal Hassan, who till recently was a staunch critic of Dravidian parties. It's a by-election that's being seen as a prelude to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. While these polls normally go in favor of the ruling party, the opposition hopes this time it will be able to buck the trend. In Erode with Suresh and Babu, Sam Daniel, NDTV.
And in controversial comments that have sparked off a political row, the YSRTP chief, YS Sharmila, on Sunday said that the Telangana is the Afghanistan of India and KCR is its Taliban. This after she was detained and released by the Telangana police for allegedly making inappropriate remarks against the Mahabubabad MLA and BRS leader Shankar Nayak.
He is the dictator. He is a tyrant. There is no Indian constitution in Telangana. There is only the KCR's constitution. That's what this is. That's what is happening in the state of Telangana. So as usual, KCR doesn't understand democratic language. So I probably will have to approach the court again. We'll have to get a fresh permission again in order for this thick-minded KCR to understand what the court is saying.
And the Jammu and Kashmir administration has put on hold the bulldozer drive to retrieve state land in the Union territory. The drive has evicted thousands of people from state land that they've been cultivating for generations, and a massive anti-encroachment drive was launched across the Union territory for the last month, which has been at the peak of winter and many days where there's been heavy snow.
Finally, bulldozers have come to a halt in Jammu and Kashmir. More than a month after a massive anti-encroachment drive, the Union Territory Administration will come up with policy before taking the next step. The purpose of the policy is to protect poor and small landholders cultivating and residing on state land for generations.
सरकार ने जो भी एक निर्णय लिया है जिसमें एंटी इंक्रोचमेंट ड्राइव है उसे तत्काल प्रभाव से रोका गया है। हम समझते हैं कि ये एक सरकार की द्वारा उठाया गया एक बड़ा ही वेलकम स्टेप है कि जो रेवेन्यू के अधिकारी हम इसके ऊपर काम करेंगे और अच्छा सा अध्यादेश लेके आएंगे, और हम ये कहते हैं कि जो बड़ी शार्क्स है उन्हें किसी भी प्रकार से नहीं छोड़ा जाए जिन्होंने इस प्रदेश को जी भर के लूटा है।
The anti-encroachment drive had snowballed into a major controversy. Opposition alleged that drive was selective and on communal lines. Thousands of people who had been cultivating and residing on the state land have already been evicted. The Opposition National Conference said decision is a welcome step and a reprieve for people.
It's a welcome decision and a much needed reprieve to the people of Jammu and Kashmir provinces. Although the decision has come a little late and it has affected a lot of people because there was lack of clarity in the actions from the government. I hope that the government will assess the ground realities.
From the beginning, Jammu and Kashmir's Lieutenant Governor administration insisted that only rich and powerful who have encroached large tracts of land will be targeted and common people will not be touched in eviction drive.
It is a course correction by the Lieutenant Governor administration after thousands faced eviction over the last 1 month of massive anti-encroachment drive across Jammu and Kashmir. As the bulldozers have finally come to a halt, officials say next move will be decided only after government comes up with a new policy. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
And a teenager in Kerala has become possibly the youngest live organ donor in the country by donating a part of her liver to her father, who was suffering from chronic liver disease, and the only hope was a transplant. Devananda is underage, so she had to get an exemption from the courts. And she's now become an inspiration to others in a state that has surprisingly, among the lowest organ donations from the brain dead, despite being the most literate state in India.
A kiss of life for daddy. 17-year-old Devananda from Kerala's Thrissur district has donated a part of her liver to her father to save his life. This just weeks ahead of sitting for her 12th class board exams in March.
ലിവർ ഡോണേഴ്സിനെ അന്വേഷിച്ച് ഒരുപാട് കുടുംബങ്ങൾ കഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ അവർക്കൊരു ഡോണേഴ്സിനെ കിട്ടാതിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ മസ്തിഷ്ക മരണം സംഭവിച്ച ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഇത് കൊടുക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലത് പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കാത്ത കാരണം അത് നടക്കുന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ പല ജീവനുകളും നഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ ജീവൻ രക്ഷിക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് പറ്റി.
A week after the surgery, Devananda has recovered well. The teenager had to go to court to get permission to donate, as the 1994 Human Organ Transplant Act does not allow minors to donate. Doctors say they expect liver donors like Devananda to cope well.
Devananda ഇന്ന് ഡിസ്ചാർജ് ആവുകയാണ്. പോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഡേ 9. വേറെ മേജറായിട്ടുള്ള കുഴപ്പങ്ങളൊന്നും ഇതുവരെ ഇല്ല. പ്രതീക്ഷം റിക്കവർ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അൺഫോർച്ചുനേറ്റ്ലി ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഇതേപോലെയുള്ളൊരു ദുർഘട ഘട്ടത്തിൽ കൂടെ പോകേണ്ട ആവശ്യം വേണ്ടി വന്നത് ഈ മസ്തിഷ്ക മരണം സംഭവിച്ചിട്ട് അതിനുശേഷമുള്ള അവയവദാനം കേരളത്തിൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ കുറച്ച് വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് വളരെ കുറവാണ്. ആ ഒരു കാരണം കൊണ്ടാണ് ദേവനന്ദയെ പോലെയുള്ള 17 വയസ്സുള്ള ഒരാൾക്ക് ഇത് കൊടുക്കേണ്ടി വന്നത്, സ്വന്തം അച്ഛൻ്റെ ജീവൻ രക്ഷിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്.
The Kerala High Court as well as the hospital authorities lauded Devananda for becoming an inspiration to others. With SP Babu in Thiruvananthapuram, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
And the big international story coming out of the United States, Jimmy Carter, the 98-year-old former U.S. president, is now receiving hospice care at home, where he will spend his, quote, remaining time. That's what his foundation has said. He founded the Carter Center in 1982 to pursue his vision of world diplomacy, and he has been the recipient of the 2002 Nobel Peace Prize for his tireless efforts to promote social and economic justice.
Jimmy Carter, the 98-year-old former U.S. president who led the nation from 1977 to 1981, is receiving hospice care at home, where he will spend his remaining time, his non-profit foundation said on Saturday. After a series of short hospital stays, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter today decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention, said the Carter Center in a statement posted to Twitter. Carter underwent treatment for cancer in 2016 and is the oldest living former president and a Nobel Peace Laureate. The former peanut farmer became the U.S. president in 1976 at one of the most tumultuous times in U.S. polity. He had to deal with an oil crisis at home, inflation, and the big Iran crisis when the Shah was overthrown after the Islamic Revolution in 1979, and over 50 U.S. citizens were taken hostage. The high point of his presidency came in 1978 when he got Israel and Egypt to sign the Camp David Peace Accord. Carter visited India as president in 1978 during the prime ministership of Morarji Desai. Carter lost his bid for second term in 1980. It is after this that he went to become this elderly statesman with his charity work and efforts to promote democracy and conflict resolution around the world through the Carter Center. With Nelson Mandela, he founded the Elders, a group of global leaders to work on peace and human rights. In 2021, Carter and his wife Rosalind celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary. NDTV Bureau Report.
Welcome back. Now some rare video has emerged from the Panna Tiger Reserve. According to the local forest department there, a leopard in the video, what you can see is a leopard who climbed a tree near where a tigress was sitting, and after a while the leopard tried jumping off the tree, but the tigress surrounded the leopard, and then the two animals, the two big cats, faced off, growling at each other. Eventually What you see is that the tigress leaves the leopard alone. Now, according to the Forest Department, the tigress has cubs who are very small, and so she's very cautious about their safety. And abandoned by families, ignored by society, a transgender trio have discovered a new way to start their lives afresh. Shrija reports from Udupi.
In Udupi district, about 400 kilometers from west of capital Bengaluru. At the city bus stand, this location that is rather a sleepy town in the midnight is bustling with students, auto drivers, bus and taxi drivers digging into some lip-smacking food cooked by these transgenders. Purvi, Vaishnavi and Chandana, who used to beg on the streets of Udupi, run the night canteen called Purvi Canteen, catering to midnight snackers that is open between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Crackdown from the local police forced these transgenders to set up the midnight canteen.
ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಈಗ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಸಹಕರಿಸಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರದದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಬೇಡ, ನಮಗೆ ದುಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬಿಡಿ.
The brainchild behind the canteen is Karnataka's first MBA degree holding transgender, Samiksha Kundar, who helped the three set up the canteen. The transgenders prepare the food at Samiksha's house and reach the city bus stand to carry out the business. From begging on the streets to sex work, these transgenders have abandoned all illegal means to survive, with midnight snackers enjoying refreshments at their transsexual canteen. In Udupi, Shrija for NDTV.